Hi, good morning. I'm so excited to show you a non-Christmas card that I've made from this Christmastime is Here Sweet. It's because of all those comments that you left last week that I was inspired to make this particular card that we're going to make. Welcome to Stampin' with Diane. I'm Diane Evans. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up Demonstrator. Like I said, the card that we're making is because of all those comments. Actually, I now have so many new ideas that, well, check out my new offer at the end of this video. So I'm just going to move this stuff off to the side. So we're really not using too much of it, but it did inspire me. So we are making this particular card. It's a get well card. I know, right? Yeah. Anyways, so that's the card that we're going to make. So I'm going to show you what we need to make that card. Let's just put this stuff off to the side. So the card stuff is we have to use Blushing Bride, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4, and we'll just bone fold that up there. I also have a piece of the Blushing Bride. It's 3 inches by 3 1/4 inches. I also have another piece that's 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch. And then we also have some Whisper White, and it is 3 3/4 by 5, and a piece 3/4 by 3 3/8. And this 3 3/8 just matches up perfectly for what we need to do on the card. We also are going to need our Blushing Bride, the stamp pad. Now, you're probably sitting there going, Blushing Bride, but this stuff it's Cherry Cobbler, and it's Poppy Parade. Actually, this part here, and it's kind of washed out, and it's given the highlights on the rose there, matches up with Blushing Bride almost perfectly. We're also using a dark Flirty Flamingo. Yeah, these colors do work. Trust me, they really do. And we're also going to use some pearls. And then this stamp set, which I think is a real must, especially if you send get well cards out and that sort of stuff. This the stamp set we're going to use. We're actually going to use this one right here. We're also using this die, this one here, and we're also using the layering ovals, and it's the 2 largest straight ovals are there. We're using the tufted embossing folder. Just put those off to the side. And the piece of paper that we're using is this piece of Designer Series paper. So if you watched my video last week, you'll know that I used this and we cut it out with this die. But today we're going to use this particular one. So I'm just going to cut that out roughly, and then we can go and get started on this card. So I'll just move some of this stuff out of the way. So the first thing I think we'll do is we'll cut with, or we'll use the Big Shot. I'm just dying to find out what that new emboss and cut machine is going to be like with Stampin' Up. Okay, so with this paper here, we are going to position this, and I just see if I've got this a certain way. We're going to position this. This is the second largest one. We're just going to position it, well, what do we want to have in there? I think I like this flower here, so bring that up like that, and we'll run that through. So we have just that piece there. I don't know if you can salvage anything from that, but I don't think I will be. And also, this part of the fingers here, this part of the die we'll use as well. So just put that off there. And that's on that spare piece of Blushing Bride. It's right about there. This is really neat, this particular die. I know when I first started playing with this, I thought, oh, maybe I'll use the thicker one, but I think this one's going to really work for me. Now, I don't know if you've seen this. This was in the annual catalog, but this is the attachment that goes on your Take Your Pick tool. It just comes out where that the picker up stuff, and you can just put that in there. And we'll just use that to get that die off. So we've got that. And one other thing we need to use the Big Shot for is to run the embossing folder through. So this is the embossing folder that I'm using is one of the older style one. So you don't need that extra plate on there. So it's a 3D embossing plate. So I can just use the regular sandwich on this particular one. So that's, oh, a regular sandwich if it would work. So all I'm going to do is just put that down there like that. Run this through. Remember, when you're putting anything through a Big Shot or any kind of a cutting and embossing thing, is if you're forcing it, it's going to you've just got the wrong sandwich on there. Okay, so there we go. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And I've already gone ahead and I've cut out the oval out of the Blushing Bride, so you wouldn't have to take so much time. So there we go. We have that. We have the base of the card. We have this little piece here, and this little piece. There we go. Now, the other things, did I mention that we needed pearls? Well, anyways, we're going to use pearls on this one as well. So let's go in and do the sentiment to begin with. I really like that, sending you healing vibes. I think that's really nice. And you can also go and use the other one, the wishing you a quick recovery, would also fit on the front of this card. So I gotta see if I can get that in the middle. It's pretty hard when you've got the camera there, but we'll work on it. Let's see how this works out for us. Yep, good. Okay. Gonna need that a little bit later. And then this part here fits right down under here. So I'm going to use some tear and tape, and I'm just going to put that across the bottom here. And use my Take Your Pick tool to get this tear and tape off. Just like so. And then we're just going to put it, and I think I'm going to put something down. I'm just going to bring in my embossing folder so that I don't stick to the paper. Just going to line that up, like about there. Is that straight? Let's see. No, not quite. This tape does stick, so it's So I think I line it up right above those little circles there. So let's put that down again and see how I go. So I don't know if you watched the live video last week. Boy, was that ever a blotched video. I did go in and replace it, but man, you know your day is going to be bad when everything goes wrong. So started the day actually with spilling my coffee too, so, but anyways, okay, so that looks like we've got that there. So now let's put this tufted part on the front of my card base. And we're just going to put it on there. Okay. And then we are going to add this on here, but we're going to do something that's just a little bit different on this part. Let me bring in, and I didn't tell you about this, is what we were using. It's this Snowfall Accents Puff Paint, and it's found on page 19 of the annual, or the Christmas catalog, and it's right here. This stuff, I remember we used to carry this. It wasn't Stampin' Up brand. I would say almost 10, maybe 12 years ago. So anyways, what you want to do is just shake the living, just shake it like crazy. I'll just actually take that off. And see, these berries here are actually a poppy parade, and they kind of clash a little bit on the card. So we're going to cover that up a little bit. This stuff is very runny, so don't be alarmed. It still works when it's that way. I remember the older stuff wasn't quite that runny, but it was hard to get out of the bottle, so this one won't be. So all we're going to do is just, and hardly squeeze it all, because it will blob out. And let's see. Now, if you want to have more definition of these little berries, you can let it dry in between, but it's really not that necessary. So I've got some here. It's kind of nice when they're further. Whoops, look at that blob. See, and that's what I mean. You don't want it to squeeze too much. You can actually just touch it to the paper, and it's going to come out. It's a bit of a knack to it, that's for sure. Now let's see. Yeah. Oh, we got one more here, so let's cover this one up. Whoops, look at that. Okay, I'm going to actually go in with this, and I'm going to actually lift some of that off. I guess actually, let's see, take this, and I'm just going to take some of that off. There we go. That'll work. And then just bring in your heat tool. And we're just going to, now before I'm going to show you, I want to make sure that I've got, so it's not quite as liquid, because if I show it on the side, it'll probably run a little bit, so. Oh, this is almost as good as embossing, actually. This stuff is pretty amazing stuff. So. So see how it's puffing up there? Then I took a sponge. I didn't want it quite that stark white, and I just took my Blushing Bride, and it has cooled off, and I just rubbed it a little bit on here. I know with that card I did years ago, I think I'd used it, I think it was Blush Blossom was one color that was there. So anyways, I remember doing a template with them, but this one I decided not to use a template. So see how that would go in and basically be covered on here, and it just takes that away. This one I got a little bit better there, but anyways. Okay, so let's just put that right onto the Blushing Bride. So I know I'm going to be putting that. I'm going to actually put this off on an angle like that. And I'm going to put this here. So I just want to make sure that I've kind of got it in the spots where I want it to go. I'll just bring in my dimensionals. Put the dimensional on either side of this. You know, if by any chance you have some sticky stuff and you want to get sticky stuff off of your any of your cardstock or anything like that, you know, I think I'll put one more inside there. Normally I wouldn't put this many dimensionals on, but is just use your embossing buddy to take some of the stickiness off. So put that, say, about there. And I'm going to put this with dimensionals as well. Now you notice my dimensionals at least are not overlapping one another. Like I say, that's only, I think, important for up here in Canada. Who knows? All I know is our postage rates are astronomical. And we'll just put this up here. So. And we just need a bit more to pop. So this is where I'm using the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to color up some of these pearls. These stamping blends are alcohol markers. And they can be used to color your embellishments. They can color ribbon and that sort of stuff as well. And it doesn't rub off. That's the beauty of it. So we have that. And just take your pick tool again. Now let's see, where am I going to put these? Put one here, I guess. And what inspired me to use these is because they have those glimmer dots, right, in the suite. Oh. And then we'll do one, maybe up here. And the best thing to do to take them off of here is sometimes just put your finger over top. But these are going to bounce all over the place for me today. There. And I think I'll put one right above there. So, there you have it. That is a non-traditional, or is a non-Christmas card made from this Christmas Time is Here suite. So please leave a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. I have started a YouTube channel, and I would love for you to subscribe to it. I'll share those links below in the comments. That's crooked. Also, now about my special offer. If you live in Canada and purchase the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, or even more if that's what you want, I will send you a PDF file, and you can use that to complete 5 projects using this suite. Or, but use the hostess code if you're going to go online, or you can email me the order and I'll also send you the PDF file. Now, the unfortunate part is if you do live outside of Canada, I cannot sell any of the Stampin' Up! Products to you. However, I will have this PDF file for sale. But like I say, thanks for stopping by and inspiring me with your comments. Bye for now.